Not a long time ago, I was walking home, lost in my thoughts. I couldn't stop thinking about this one big question. Why do I exist? Is there more to life than just this same old routine? Wake up, eat, go to work, come back home, sleep, repeat. Don't get me wrong, I love my life and I have a great family and a lot to be grateful for. But deep down, I feel like something's missing. Maybe it's just me and my midlife crisis, or maybe I'm just overthinking life. I can't help wondering if there's more to life than just following the same path everyone else does. What if I want to do something meaningful and exciting? What if I don't want to wait until I am retired to really just start living? I want to start exploring more, but then there's this fear. Fear of failing, fear of commitment, fear of being judged. So how do I handle all of this without letting them control me, without letting this fear sink into me? I want to break free from the traditional path and do something different that truly matters to me. But what does really matter to me aside from my family? I don't want to regret taking risks or making mistakes. How do I find balance between following my dreams and playing it safe? And why should I even play safe if I am following my dreams? I should always be 100% for any dreams worth following. For weeks, I couldn't shake this big idea. It's like a question that just wouldn't leave me alone. One day, I talked to a friend who felt the same way. We got really excited and decided to team up. Since we both know our way around tech, we thought, hey dude, let's build an app and solve the biggest problem in the world. But I guess we just figured it out along the way. We brainstormed and planned for a while, but a few months later, we drifted apart. Our journey was short-lived and suddenly I was back where I started. I thought that failing without even really starting would make me give up. That was a failure. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I wanted to do something really meaningful. So weeks have passed and I still couldn't shake off this feeling. So weeks have passed and I am still itching about this feeling. It was like an itch that just wouldn't go away. Deep down, I knew there was something out there for me. Something waiting to be discovered. So I decided to scratch my own itch. I was in front of my computer. I found myself unable to move, just staring at a blank screen. I felt lost. Where do I even begin? It was like stepping into a maze without a map, not knowing what I was looking for or where I was headed. What if I failed? What if I never figured out why I was on this journey in the first place? On the other hand, what would it be like out there, navigating the unknown? Was I even the right person to do the job? I don't even know what goal I should be aiming for. Do I have the courage, skills, and determination to succeed? The uncertainty was overwhelming, with so many unanswered questions lurking inside my head. After spending way too much time overthinking, I finally got back on my computer and started searching for something to inspire me. Okay, I have to say, I clicked around aimlessly and I ended up binging on social media. Hours after hours of totally killing my productivity. And then one day, I stumbled upon this guy online teaching about the basics of websites and how to build a site from scratch. This caught my attention. I said, this is an interesting project. I remember back in my university years, I had this programming class about old school C programming. C programming is a type of programming language that is used to command, say, a robot. It's giving instructions to the robot, but instead of using words, you use your special language called C. That's basically a coding language. I may not be the brightest in my programming class. In fact, I was never the brightest in any class. I was swinging erratically between average and below average, and sometimes further down. Because I have at least an idea about programming, I thought this would be a cool project to pick up. There you go, I started my journey. Interestingly enough, when I watched the lesson, I found that it was about HTML. HTML is hypertext markup language. It's basically what makes websites look the way they do. So imagine you have a big blank canvas and you want to paint a picture on it. HTML is like the framework or the blueprint for that canvas. It's like a language used to create and structure the content of a web page. Just like you would plan how to arrange elements on your canvas before you start painting. With HTML, you can add text, image, videos, links, and other elements to your web page. You can also organize them in different sections like headers, paragraphs, lists, and more. So HTML is like the foundation of a web page. It helps you create the structure and layout so that when someone visits your web page or website, everything looks organized just like a well-planned painting on a canvas. That's basically it. My problem with this is that this is a totally different technology. If I'm going to head on with this technology, this is going to be like teaching an old dog with new tricks. And boy, this is not going to be easy. Since I am interested in technology, I have decided to pursue this, learning about websites and HTML and other website fundamentals or foundation. After hours and hours of absorbing information, I finally got my first ever working website. Hello world. I was so happy that time. This is my first working web page. But then as I progressed with the lessons, the projects became more and more complex. I'm spending so much time in building one page to another. Not to mention other factors to consider like domain name. This is your www.myname.com. And web host, where your website will be stored. Then you also need security to protect your website, and so on and so forth. Since this is becoming too much for me, I decided to move away from coding. I was thinking there must be another way to build websites without even coding. I kept searching until one day I came across this super cool concept of website builders. Website builders are drag and drop builders which lets you design a website without coding. And the good part is, you don't need to be a programmer. Technology has made it easier for beginners like me to build amazingly designed websites. You just need to learn the basics of using platforms. By the way, while learning about websites, I also got interested in other stuff like SEO, which is all about getting noticed on the web, and then creating content like blogs, videos, and podcasts. It might seem like a lot to handle, but they all work together if done correctly. You just gotta learn the basics, then optimize. There you go, a working website. After hours and hours of learning, I was able to build my first e-commerce site. This is it. This is my way forward. This is the path. So I did some more research and learned that I can also sell this new skill to a client as a service, like web design service or content creation service, then build my portfolio from there. At the same time, after learning some marketing strategies, I started contacting potential clients. I was cold calling. Cold calling is calling a client who does not know anything about you and if they want me to redesign their websites. I was even sending out cold emails. And to be honest, it was like a modern day spamming, sending out unsolicited emails and so on. During those times, there was one thing I noticed. No one cared. I was getting rejections after rejections, time and time again. And then one day, I posted on social media about my services and I got a message back from a client asking about my services. Long story short, I was able to close a deal with that client and I was so ecstatic during that time. Yes, I finally got my first client. It was like a sign for me that I was on the right track. Because I knew that SEO or search engine optimization, videos, vlogs, podcasts, blog, all work together for a brand, I got a bit carried away and started 3 podcast channels at the same time. I even launched some YouTube channels to compensate further. I was chasing one idea to another. I was chasing those shiny objects. I think they're all easy, I said. But no, I was wrong. I lost my focus away from my goal and I got sidetracked a lot. And when I tried to get back, I remember I was able to book 8 clients at that time for my services. And I was so happy. I thought everything would run smoothly as long as I stay with my goals. But I realized it couldn't get any harder. COVID arrived, there were lockdowns everywhere. And all the clients I booked for the services started to ghost me one by one. It was really tough. It was a tough time. Since COVID, life has become a challenge for me. I was feeling frustrated and problems just kept piling up. No clients, more bills, no money coming in. I was dealing with a lot of problems. I am letting my family down. I was so disappointed with myself. There are a lot of things going on, a lot of challenges, and it's becoming clear. I have no choice but to get a job and move away from my dreams of owning my own business. I remember back then I was shattered. Even if I didn't want to go back, the message is clear. Get a job to make sure I'm sorted financially. I guess I'll just figure out what will be the next steps to realize my dream. I remember when I quit my job, pursue this dream, I always felt like I had everything to gain from being free and nothing to lose. Now, going back to work makes me realize that I have so much experience and knowledge I learned from the past that I can share. So I may have not yet accomplished being my own boss, but I'm better, stronger, happier. The good thing of being on the workforce again is I can replan my next move without being stressed out financially. Going back to work has shown me that it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad thing. Sure, it's tough balancing being a dad, a husband, an employee while chasing my creative dreams all at once. But that's okay. I may be doing my day job, 9 to 5, but outside of that, I'm gonna crush it. I'm still crafting my craft, learning about creativity in vlogging, storytelling. Some of my work are not perfect, but that's fine. As long as I keep on creating, I think I'll be okay. Even if things didn't work out the last time, I know I'll get there eventually. I'm more determined than ever to make this work. So I'm not giving up. I'll keep moving. There's this famous quote, "Not dead, can't quit." I think for any struggles, can't quit on your dreams as long as you're breathing. If I would translate that to my craft, for me, creativity is never finished. Not done, can't quit.